Hi guys. This is the morning after the big chop up of that saw. By now that you've well, there's something on that lens big time besides my finger. Anyway, by now you see me starting on that big poplar that was down here, which I think it turned out pretty good. There's a little bit of exercise involved in doing that, which I don't really mind. That doesn't bother me a whole lot as long as I don't strain. I'm not into building muscles, but I'd like to move some things. There's a few questions that were asked, excuse me, and I'll try to answer some of them now, and because a lot of them are more involved than just writing, oh yeah, just do this. You know, it's like some, oh, you got a log turner, hook it up. Okay, that's a log turner, hook it up. I'll show you some of the involvement of hooking that up. Okay, the whole thing is a mess. Okay, all these lines have to be cleaned out that are, you can't see down in here. Now I imagine all full of stuff. They got to be cleaned out. The chain and everything, the little things on it have to be probably sharpened up. I don't think that they'll work the way they are, but I don't see that as, have to take it out and put it in the mill. Look at the nickel weld they got on there. That's amazing. Overall, I was pretty pleased with the way the mill cut. I have some issues that I want to take care of. I threw this back in here. If anybody knows why I got this is for the mill in the back. So some people say, well, why don't you do this, why don't you do that? Well, it's not the top of my priority list, and my priority list changes on a daily basis depending on what's going on. I have two trees right now down in my paths that are up in the woods, way up in there. There's one down up there, and there's another tree in a path down back in that way. So I got to probably address those. One thing that I want to address here is why my lights didn't work from here on down. I'm hoping it just came unplugged up there, but I don't know. Sawdust pit didn't work out too bad. It kept the sawdust out. I'm going to take you off the stand. Okay, it's building up too much underneath here, so I'm going to have to build a partition wall underneath there to slow it down from coming in here. It doesn't really bother me that much that came in here. Some of you know that I'm looking to get another hose for that, and I think I'm just going to buy a cheap one and see how it works and see if that whole thing works. That's all just temporary, because I don't want to have to be running two engines to get sawdust out. That just isn't what I want to do. I mean, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. I want to look into this a little bit. I did go back and measure the other sawmill in the back, because I have to, all this is just temporary to see how it works and see how it has to be moved. Oh, I even left a tape here. This is an inch and a half away from here. Okay, so if you cut a 1-inch board, it can fall down in there before it hits the rollers. So I think I'm going to move the rollers. I might even move them underneath this to see if I, or how close. I might move them so it's got to go here as opposed to fall through, because that theoretically should never move. And if it moves a 1/4 of an inch, you're probably going to hit the blade. So, and I want to probably get it the exact height of that, maybe just a hair lower. So I'm going to look into doing that, but I got it all covered up from, it rained last night. I've got basically all the slab wood cut up and in there to go put someplace, I don't know where. I got little pieces back here. I just did a short back at the other mill of all the trims, the long thin trims I took back, and I had to cut this is where I had to cut 3 sections off, so 3 18-inch pieces off to get it down. So when you go back through the woods on that, you can see the path over there, one of the paths. I guess I see 2 paths from here. Anyhow, it can't be but so wide, or you're just not going to make it through. So that's some of the stuff that's going on. I have some logs that a gentleman dropped off up at the top for firewood, not for doing here. Here's a little tray made just to hold some information. I might drill a couple holes in that so it's in place, but I guess probably this has already got holes in it. Okay, but now that I think about it, if I do that, I'll have a hard time getting that in and out, because I need to get spacers made for down there and 4 holes drilled and get that in place. And then you got to take it all back down and mount all this nonsense up here on that takes the chain out. And like I said before, there's just not a way to get the drive from down there to up there comfortably, I don't think. I'm gonna look at it again, but it's just the big problem is to get that pulley on there, get that belt on there. I got to dismantle this whole shooting match, but I don't think there's clearance between this and that. So that's why I've got the blower for now, and that's why I'm going to put this up and try to go hydraulic on that, run it off the motor. That's in 2000 watt inverter that I'm running things with. I don't like it on the steps. Not that I can't fit through this area. I mean, that's over 2 foot wide, but there's so much temporary stuff. I think I will be starting to try to mount the pump off this shaft in this area here. That's the pulley for that's actually the pulley for the log for the sawdust drag. That pulley there, it's a split pulley. So yeah, you can go up there and put that on up there without breaking all this stuff down, but you can't get the belt on there. And then some people have talked about the lace belt. That there's a lace belt, but I don't think it's anywhere. This thing is big. And then I was thinking about going to a flat belt, but once again, it's in the way. This is oiled up, so it catches all sorts of dust. This is the drive for the sawdust. No, for the log turner hydraulic line. So the tank, I think I'm going to try to mount it up in this area. Maybe bring a thing out here, bring a thing out there. There's some nice bolts there. Maybe phase it to that side so it's not in my way when I try to put it in gear. Have it above this or sitting on this, and then I can run a support off that, and that would put the tank. And I do have units that go in the back here. But if it's this side, then I lose my RPM gauge, because these go in opposite directions as I recall. I'm not positive of that. Somebody out there that knows more about Detroit would be able to tell me about that. But I do have the hydraulic unit that goes in there, so I have 2 hydraulic units. Maybe I want another one. Oh, I forgot to let the air off. If you don't let the air off, it bleeds down. It takes a couple days. That's what works the clutch. So I can work the clutch from right here at the Sawyer stand. I can work the RPMs right here from the Sawyer stand. So if I do get in trouble, I can just throw that down and it puts everything in neutral. Now, other things that are on the list for this mill is, see the brake? I've got that all freed up now. This is the brake mechanism. Now I might have to switch it over to the other side, which it's got accoutrements to do that. Okay, and I'll run that hydraulically also, but it kind of gets into close quarters here. You know, somehow I got to put maybe another one of these units on there. I got the valve already for that, so that's good. I do have the valve. Speaking of valves, I do have the hydraulic valve for that, and I do have quite a bit of the lines for that. This one here, I have no lines, no hydraulic valve. The hydraulic valve for that's probably going to run, I'm guessing, $600 or $700 unless I get lucky. It's a 2-part thing with 1 joystick. If you ever watch Mark up in Mark's bus motor production, Mark Galici, you should go up there and see that. He does different shows from time to time in his cab, which are very interesting. He's got, I'll tell you what, he needs to be an octopus in there. There's so much stuff going on. So you'll see, and it takes a motor valve connected to a straight hydraulic valve. Motor valves are different than regular hydraulic valves. And I'm seeing it's missing a few lines. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg to get the lines on there. I guess it's only missing I guess that one on the other side, but I don't see any place. I don't see any outlet for it. Oh, it's down there. That's the other return or feed over there. So it's got 2 lines on there. So it needs a 2. I knew it needed that, so I bought that 10, 15 years ago. I don't know how many years ago I bought that. And Mark's helped me out a little bit with it, saying that they're still in business and all that stuff. And I started looking at hydraulic valves, and I just haven't got into it yet. You know, you don't need a log turner. It's kind of like power steering your car. You can kind of do it without it, but you enjoy it more with it. It's easier to do with it. I don't know how to explain it. You've been sawing for 30 years without a log turner. But I was a little bit younger then, so the logs were a little bit easier to wrestle, and the logs back then were a little bit lighter too, I guess. Or they seemed lighter anyway. Anyway, that's about what's going on. I'm going to probably throw this on tonight. Throw this, I don't know where my stand went to. Oh, it's over there. I might throw this on tonight to give you a break. This does have a, oh, somebody was asking me, why don't I bring the machine in and flip the logs? This is designed for that. But there's too much junk on that log deck right now. These log decks are the same height other than this right now. And that's what that was meant for, was if I get a monster log, I can come in there with that. But the problem is I am not a good enough driver to get in there, get the log off, and get back out, because you don't have a whole lot of vision in one of these machines or on a tractor with a loader. So it's not bad if you got a spotter, but if you recall, about a year ago or a year and a half ago, I destroyed the roller deck in the back sawmill by I only missed the guess on where I was by an inch. And yeah, you can climb in and climb out and climb in and climb out and get it right. And that's what I'm doing back there now when I take logs off. But that's kind of a pain in the butt. Another thing that I do like having on the other mill, okay, outside the roll case, I have another whole set of bunks that I can pull the board down and pull it off. So I can do the next one without dropping it on the ground. So I got to come up with some kind of plan there. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do there yet, but I'm still thinking this mill through. This was actually kind of the first major saw. I've sawed with it a little bit. Got a pile of sawdust over there you got to clean up. Anyhow, that's what's going on. There's the saw from not last year, the year before. The names are getting lighter and lighter and lighter. I took the cover off of it while I was sawing that big log just because it's kind of neat. In the wood yard, there's Chris. He hung in there. The black color hung in there. A lot of the reds faded out. There's Larry and Robin, Chris Killinger, B&B. I can't see, there's a glare on it so much. Fern Hill, I think he signed the other one. I think, there's Mrs. Frickin' Jeep, most important signature on there. Mac is up here someplace. I can't, there's too much of a glare up there to see where Mac's signature is. The other blade is in the, in out of the sun. There's ZZ Mark, look at that. That's an important person in it. They're all important, but some are. Karen Creek, he's a good guy. If you've never seen his channel, go down and check his channel out. That guy is a hoot. Love watching him. Hard working, should say female, but hard working man. There's Rach and Heath. He's got to learn how to saw wood. I ought to go up and do the other one. Oh, that's what I was saying. You know, I forget what I'm saying most of the time, or what I'm doing most of the time. I think this is back all the way. Yeah. If you got time, which you should find time, if you think this saw is kind of neat, it just popped up on my computer today. I never saw it. Go to Around the Wood Yard. I forget the gentleman's name. Real nice guy. Okay. He did a Frickin' Jeep saw blade at the Bunyan show last year, and he did a great job of showing not this blade, the blade after this. This was 2 years ago, I guess. Then last year, that's the one still up in the garage. We are planning to go to Bunyan again this year. I've chased up a 58-inch blade. Last year's was a 56. I think this was a 54 or 52. I don't remember what this was. There's SWK, SMK. Anyhow, go up to Around the Wood Yard. He has got some good wood splitting to do. He's very handy with stuff. Check him out, and then go to his shorts, and you'll find the shorts that says Friggin' Jeep Sawmill, and that saw is absolutely gorgeous. He did such a great job of photographing that saw. This thing's kind of a work of art, and I really like it. I hate that it's fading away. That's why I haven't put the other one out yet. The squirrel count is now 74. Not the squirrel count, the mouse count is 74. I'm down to about 1 mouse, and I did 4, then 3, then 1, then 1. And so the mouse, we're starting to get control of it. Squirrels are 14, so that's what's going on today. I got a lot of stuff to do, so probably won't bring you around. Probably won't bring you around for most of it because it takes so much time. It's like sawing this log. It takes twice as much time to saw that log running the camera around. So that's just the way it is. So I hope you hit the like and subscribe button. I think what I'm going to play with next, because I don't want to do anything, I'm going to try to bring the 10-foot ladder over there and see if I can't get up there. I used to use that ladder over there, which is I think it's a 32-footer or something like that. It's too heavy for me now. That's why it's never moved. But I might try dragging it around, putting it in the rafters and crawl through the rafters like a rat. But that's where I'm at. I'm going to go up there and see if I can't figure out why these aren't going on. Maybe the strings just got pulled and it turned them out. I don't know. So anyhow, that's the log turners. They aren't hooked up because it takes time, it takes money, and I'm cheap. See you later now. Bye-bye. Off button.